Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and on this one I'm going to compare my IRs. I have released two IR packs via Strange Angles, and many of you have asked if I could do a video where I'm going through all of those IRs, or most of them, from both IR packs with a few different amps. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Marshall JCM 2203, the bad boy, and Boograin Digital's plugin of that. Then I'm going to use Soldano SLO-100 and Neural DSP's plugin of that. And then I'm also going to use Neural DSP's Omega Ampworks Granophyre plugin. Alright, let's start with the bad boy plugin. Alright, this is the bad boy with Marshall Cabinet DV77 IR and my go-to blend with SM57 and Royer 121. Then let's change to Carnivore. Same, speaker setup, same cabinet. And then the V30. Some of you have asked that is there something phase thing going on or wrong because this is so smooth, but no, this cabinet is from '94. The V30s are old, they are the smoothest V30s I've tried, so there's no harshness or anything. This is how the cabinet sounds. Like really smooth, the upper, there's no compared to these, the Carnivore has a lot more bite than the V30, like that. Sorry. Typical V30 sound. Then these are from the IR pack 1. Then let's load IRs from IR pack 2. There's two speakers, one Marshall cabinet. Let's use the 57-121 blend. It's the EVH speaker. Then the greenback speaker. It's the typical greenback kind of papery, upper mid-range. It sometimes sounds a little bit like this, but in the mix it really cuts through nicely. The EVH is a lot smoother on the upper mids. But still having the typical greenback sound, and then this comes with the stock cabinets. These were captured, these cabinets by Jens, as was the amp. The amp was a couple of months at a Fascination Street studio, Sensi studio. I think these are great. These are just a lot more mid-focused IRs and cabinets. This is a greenback, you hear the kind of papery. then this lead cab has the most mids. Compared to, let's load the Carnivore, my IRs, they have a, so I wanted to capture the woof and the low end and the like how my cabinets sound. So there is mids, but it's not quark, it's and yeah, the guitar is my ESP custom, so the pickup is Duncan distortion. Cool, so that's how they sound with the bad boy. And now let's try them with the real bad boy. I need to change the plugin, because if I bypass this amp, it bypasses the whole plugin. So I'm gonna use another plugin, you know, that I can just use the cabinet section and with these same IRs. But keep this in mind. So JCM Maynard it, well, the bad boy with Carnivore DV77. Let's see if I have the DV77. Yes, DV77 57121. Okay, so now it's the real bad boy Boss SD1 in front, and the DV77 speaker 57 layer 121, the same IR I used. Yeah, the plugin sounds like a bad boy, and you know, so because the IR makes a big difference. Okay, then let's go through these IRs. Let's start from the Mesa Boogie. So this is the Mesa cabinet from '94 V30, and it's the SM57 Royer 121, a little bit of SSL EQ baked in. Then the Carnivore. DV77. Like here, the V30 has the most mids, quark, the Carnivore has the most kind of highs, and the DV is the kind of darkest with the emphasis on the lower mids. So with this DV77, what I will do, I feel it's a little bit dark like this, so I will just add some treble from the amp, like this. Cool. Okay, Okay, then let's close this, open this one. So this is the EVH speaker, SM57-121 in the Marshall BX cabinet. This added treble, so the treble is now 6, it was 5, it works with the EVH, because the EVH is also a bit darker speaker. Then to the greenback, and I already know that I need to back off the treble a little bit. So this is the Marshall cabinet greenback, 57-121, a little bit SSL EQ baked in. Yaksh. Back it off to noon. Better. Okay, while we're at it, let's change to using the plugin. So this is the full read. Now we need to change the input. There's the input 2 on my audio interface. That's the direct out from the power station, so the direct amp sound. And input 1 is the high Z input. So now the guitar goes via DI box to the or splitter to the audio interface. And as you hear, this is again like, I mean, this amp, the way I've said it, oops, the real amp is set exactly the same, except I have the overdrive on 6, this is on 5, because, you know, they modeled this plugin after a specific Soldano. And apparently this Soldano has a little bit more gain, so probably the power preamp tubes are a little bit harder or whatever. You know, real amps, real components, real parts, there's always a small difference in value. So other than that, it's exactly set exactly like this. This has the overdrive on 5 and I have the overdrive on 6. They sound exactly the same, really. So now I'm using, and I have here with the real Soldano, I have had a Maxon OD808. Let's actually put that on. And with this one, it's the whatever this overdrive is. But to me, this sounds pretty close to the Maxon. So first, let's check out the plugin, and then I'll switch to the real amp. Now we are using the Marshall cabinet DV77 speaker mic with 57 Royer 121, a little bit SSL EQ baked in. The guitar is in drop C sharp tuning, and these plugins are on my desktop, so I'm screen recording, so there's no post-processing. This is what I hear is what you hear. Okay, then a carnivore. Again, more bite, more chop. Then the V30. Again, really smooth, kind of dark. So with this one, I would turn up the treble actually a little bit. Like that. Okay, cool. then let's switch to the BX cabinet from the IR Pack 2. So first we have the EVH speaker 57 Royal 121. Then the greenback. It has quite a bit of a upper mid, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back the treble a little bit. Like that. Cool. Back to the Carnivore, or DV77, sorry. I have recently used the DV77 and the Carnivores a lot. I think they are great general overall speakers, and the other speakers or IRs I've used more like if I need something else, but the DV77 and the Carnivore from the IR Pack 1 has been like my go-to, like defaults. And then if I want something really smooth, like for leads, I have used the V30. And then if I want more papery, more old school, more vintage greenback vibe, then I've used the Marshall, the IR Pack 2, where we have the 25 amp greenback and the EVH. Okay, but now what we're gonna do is we're gonna check these with the real SLO. So this is just cabinet. Everything else is bypassed, as you see. I need to change the input to input 2 because that's where the direct out comes. Cool. Sorry, I had turned this accidentally off. Let's wait for a while for it to warm up. And while it's warming up, just you know, you probably realized by now that the speaker really does make a difference, because you know, amplifiers like high gain amps, whether it's 606, EL34, there is a difference, obviously, how they behave, how clear they are and stuff. But the biggest difference, you know, for the sound, overall sound, in my opinion, which is actually it's pretty obvious, it's the speaker and the microphones and the mic pre's used to capture that. So like you heard, just by changing different speaker, different impulse response, I get a variety of different sounds. And usually I'm basically just tweaking the treble, because on the SLO and on many amps the treble is kind of like upper mid area. Okay, I think it's warm now. SLO, so now we have the real amp with the DV77. Then with the Carnivore, and I have here like you know, the EQ and without the EQ. I prefer the EQ because that's how I use them. It's fairly minimal. There's just some filtering, top and bottom filtering, and I'm turning down usually the lower mids, like 500 area a bit, and sometimes a little bit the upper mids, but not like, we're talking like dB and a half. So, but that's why I'm showing you these with the EQ, because that's the way I'm using the real cabinet. So the microphones goes to these SSL channel strips. All right, so then we went through the DV and now it's the Carnivore. Let's switch back to the DV and then I switch to the Carnivore, so you hear. Carnivore has a nice top, nice presence, but it's not harsh. Let's go back to the DV, and with the DV I actually you know, would dial the treble up a little bit. Cool, you get a nice bite. Okay, then the V30, let's put the treble back to where it was, just here below 5. And again, this is so smooth, these speakers, I'm gonna add a little bit treble. Like that. Okay, cool. Then let's switch to the EVH. EVH is also fairly dark, so the treble is probably fine. So let's back it off a little bit. That. And the greenback, and I know that there's too much treble. It's a little harsh, so let's back the treble. So, yeah, now I've gone through these two amps, and then let's switch to the Omega Granophyre, which is a kind of different amp than the two I've, you know, showed you so far. Okay, so this is the Neuro DSP's Omega Ampworks Granophyre. Kind of my favorite settings for this one. I don't have the real amp, but I sure do like this plugin, so I might maybe purchase the real deal someday. And I really like the ER34 version of this. It's the low gain setting. I'm having the whatever overdrive this is, level, you know, none, gain just barely on, tone 11, the mode 3. And the amp is like this, and the IR is the DV77 57 121 here. Cool. So, and I done a tiny bit of EQ, so I'm taking 1.2 dB out of 4K. That's the only thing. Cause I really like this, like the amp, and everything is new. Like, it was just like I don't want to mess with it. I mean, this is a little bit under, this is a little bit, it sounded so cool. I just felt there was something around 4K, so instead of messing with the knobs, I just did it with the post EQ. Okay, so DV77. Like this is really kind of nasty sounding amp, but without being harsh. Okay, then let's switch to, I think I did some, yeah, this is DV77 and Carnivore. It's the blend. Blend I have used quite a few times lately on my production, and exactly this like you know, DV 57 121, Carnivore 57 121. These are summing mixtures, so this is great. Okay, then the EVH speaker. Greenback. It has a tiny, oh yeah, and here I've actually done the little bit treble back off, because the greenback has kind of really prominent upper mid. Carnivore. V30. This amp, I don't like this at all with the V30. All the other amps, the Soldano, the 800, they work really well with V30. This one doesn't work that well. To me, this one works the best with the DV77 and with the Carnivore. I mean, the DV77, it's a signature Mick Thompson speaker, which was designed, Mick Thompson designed it together with the owner of the Omega Ampworks, the Mike, sorry I forgot your last name, but anyway, the guy who has designed this amp, so it makes sense that the DV77 works really well with this. As does the blend of this one, DV and Carnivore, or just the Carnivore. But to me, I like this amp the most with the DV77 speaker. I have got a lot of feedback. Thank you all. That many people have sent me emails that they've actually replaced all of their amp sims. They're replaced with my IRs. Well, I've done exactly the same, even though I have real amps, but I do use plugins, especially for songwriting. So my go-to plugins are the Booger and Bad Boy and Soldano, because I have the real amps, they are familiar. But this Granophyre, I think I'm gonna buy this plugin. This is now a trial, but I really like this, especially the EL34 version. And it works fantastically with the DV77. I'm enjoying playing with this a lot. So yeah, that was it. And as you probably heard, I have a flu. I've been having a terrible flu for a few days. Yeah, it's a man flu, because I'm a man. No, seriously. It's pretty bad. So I just wanted to do this because you have asked me this a lot. Because there's no trial with my IR packs. So hopefully this will help you to decide what you will get. Like the IR pack 1, there's the V30, the Carnivore, the DV77, a bit more modern, let's say. And the IR pack 2, there's the greenback and the EVH greenback, which is a little bit more vintagey. So hopefully this will help you to decide which one to get. My recommendation is, of course, get both. So then you have exactly the same cabinets and speakers that I have and what I use on many of my productions. But honestly, if I would have to choose one, since the DV77 and Carnivore speakers in that particular Marshall cabinets has been my go-to cabinets for the past few months, I would choose the IR pack 1. You know, but then I would be missing the greenbacks. So, but anyway, hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Links to those IR packs in the description below. Also, Strange Angles sells my hard hitters amp captures, where I've actually captured these amps. So there's the Soldano, there's both 800s, the Bad Boy, the little brother. There's my Jose Marit Plexi. There's the dual rectifier Lord Vader, and then there's the 5150 black leather. There's going to be a version 2 which will have the 5152 and some other goodies, but that's in the works. Until that, you know, the Hard Hitters Pack 1, strong recommendation if you want to have my amps dialed to my sweet spots. And the Hard Hitters packs are available for Quad Cortex, Nano, Mini, Micro, whatever, Atonex, Kemper, XFX, Line 6, NAM, what else there? Basically your go-to modelers and plugin formats, they are available. Now, thank you. I'm going to rest now and try to get rid of this flu. Until next time, take care. Bye.